Hey there, welcome to the Working Actor on Casting Workbook. I'm Natasha Gorgiulo, and we have a really scary movie to talk about this weekend that is opening up at the box office. It's called Tarot. If you're into tarot readings, then you're going to love this film because it's all about the forbidden rule about tarot reading where you can't read other people's tarot cards. Well, this is what happens to a group of friends who do that, and they unleash this evil curse upon each other, and they're racing against time and fate and also trying to stop their deaths. One of the actors in the amazing cast of this film is with us today on The Working Actor. Her name is Humberly González. She is a Canadian, and she is so successful both in TV and film, and we have her here to give you some insight on how to become really great at horror movies and beyond. Welcome, Humberly. How's it going?
That's such a nice intro. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm
you're
happy to be
welcome.
here.
Such a fan of yours, and I'm sure a lot of people who are tuning in are a fan of yours. Can't wait to see this film that's opening up in the box office. But also, we know you from Ginny and Georgia and so many other series and motion capture video games and all that. So we want to get to all of it. But first, let's talk about Tarot. It's opening up in theaters this week. It's really scary. There's a lot of jump cuts, and there's a lot of scenes that are just going to scare you to death. What was it about the film that you really loved and said, I need to be a part of it?
I gotta say, I'm a huge horror film fan. I've always watched them since I was little. I don't know why they're so comforting to me, but it is something that I always seek out. Like, what is the next cult classic? What is a good horror movie? I love giving recommendations. And I mean, Sony Pictures, Screen Gems, they are like top of the top. If you do a Screen Gems movie, you go to the movies, you go see it, it's worldwide. They have great scripts, you get the classic tropes and the characters, and you're in for a good ride. So getting this audition was exciting because I was like, oh my goodness, this is like such a milestone moment for me, not just as an actor, but personally because I love horror movies. And getting the audition was exciting. I actually got to audition for a few of the female leads. And ultimately, it was a collaboration between my directors and I, Anna and Spencer, and they were like, which character do you want to play? Who do you feel connected to? And I thought that was really unique because it's so rare to receive that kind of prompt to be like, we see you in a few of these, or which one do you prefer in a way? And we don't often get that much choice as actors. We audition for something and it's either you or someone else, but um, they were so lovely. I felt like they really believed in me, and the collaboration aspect of it was amazing.
I find that's very impressive because, when an actor goes an audition and they receive the script, they're so overwhelmed with all the lines that they've got to memorize and how they've got to, portray that character. Here you are auditioning for not one, but several of the characters. So, how do you as an actor juggle all that?
I really feel like the right part finds you. And it is such a gift to be able to kind of give a try to each one of them. I always feel like a character is always coming from you, and then you kind of find out, okay, how similar are they to me? How different are they from me? And where do I fit in, especially? But it was
Mm.
honestly fun to play. All of these characters have their own uniqueness about them, but my character, Madeline, she really loves taking footage on her phone, and social media was a big aspect of her. And I think she really cares about her friends and making memories and looking back to all of that. So I connected to that and I said, that's very me because I really enjoy all of the memories that I'm making every day. And I can still be present in it. I just really love looking back. There's something about like, wow, look at the life that I'm in, the moments that we've created and had as friends. So that comes back in the movie in like a very special way. And so it's an important part of the story.
Now, I liked your character a lot because I related to her the most as well when I was watching it. So I was really rooting for you to not die. I don't want to give any spoilers out, but I was really rooting for you to, because I'm like, they can't all die, right? We're not going to ruin it all. But when you read the script and kind of saw what the fate of your character was, how did you prepare for it?
It was probably one of the biggest death sequences in the movie. I know how important this was going to be. We literally shut down an entire bridge in the middle of the night, and it was like a 2-day night shoot until the sunrise.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
a lot of effort. I was working out every day. We filmed this in Belgrade, Serbia, and we were staying at a hotel that had like gym and everything. And you could see like the directors and the cast, they were really prepping like physically, especially because my character had to do a lot of running.
Yes.
And so my producer actually, Scott, he gave me and gifted me a massage like coupon for after because he was like, you are such a like badass. I need you to take care of your body. Cause yeah, it was like I was so sore after. Um, there was this really unique moment when I was filming because when you're in a wide, like there's nobody around, but they wanted to get this shot of like the entire kind of scenery at night. And there was no one around me. And I'm just running. And it was so quiet and creepy. And all I heard was like my breath and the steps on the pavement. And I'm looking back and I'm scared. And I really felt like I was in it. That was one of those moments. I don't think I've had that many of them where it didn't feel like I was filming a movie and it felt like real life. And it was very scary because filming scary movies are not that scary. There's so many lights and you see everything that's happening. So you have to suspend your disbelief a lot of the time. But that scene specifically, I was very connected to. It felt very visceral, vulnerable, and terrifying.
That's amazing. And that's such great insight. Because I was going to ask you that. First of all, yes, you did the most running in this film, and I was out of breath for you. Aside from watching the film with my hands over my face most of the time, I put them down for your scenes, obviously. But I was going to ask you, because as a viewer watching it, we're spooked out, we're scared. But what's it like as an actor doing those scenes, especially when the tower readings are happening, or you're walking down those scary, dark alleyways or in the basements, etc. How does it feel for you as the actor?
Yes. I mean, I mentioned that you can't get the full like scare factor like you do when watching, but this one had a lot of scary moments. I'm not gonna lie. Like we were in this like abandoned house one moment where we meet this old woman who is incredible. Like all of the acting and then the set design. The set design really brought it to life and the lighting. That was a really creepy moment. And then the house that all of them kind of it starts the movie off. They're at the strip, and like that house itself was so beautiful and also really creepy. I have so much behind the scenes of me just walking around being like, I swear if something jumps out at me, like it felt like it really added it to the climate of the movie. And because I've seen the movie now already as well, and like it is really scary. And as a horror movie like fanatic, I was like, I'm really proud of this one because you really feel all of those elements that the creators and everyone was trying to portray, like the cinematography with the sound and what it looks like and the sets. It just it's such a fun experience, honestly. Like watching it and being in it, it was definitely like a check, did that.
Absolutely. Check that off of your list. If you're not following Umberly, she is on Instagram. And a lot of the times I was going through it because you did show some behind the scenes on your Instagram page of shooting this. And I also felt like you guys genuinely were friends. The friendship in the film was so much fun to watch because you can relate to it with your own group of friends and saying, yeah, we would do this and etc. We would support one another that way. And there was a lot of comic relief to it as well, which I appreciated. But what was it like on set working with this cast, and how close did you guys get?
Oh my goodness. I think my first friend was Larson.
Mm.
Her and I instantly connected online. And right from the first day when we landed, we were like, let's go out and explore. And we had this beautiful, adventurous day in Serbia, and it was amazing. Then Avantika was kind of like with us, and we became this cool trio where like we literally had sleepovers. We would, just always hang out. We even took this one trip like outside and went to caves and saw waterfalls. And when Harriet came into the whole picture, then it was like all four of us and these girls. We became like this girl gang, and we really did become friends. We have this group chat called Bell Girlies because it's from Belgrade, and we would share like all of our memories and photos. And even on set, like everybody really did get along. Like Jacob is hilarious, and he was a true comic relief every single day. Like I think everyone just had their own personality and we could shine. And spending months together in a foreign place, there's something about that bringing you together because we don't have our usual go-tos. So it was fun to explore a new place while also getting to know each other.
Absolutely. I find that really exciting to know that first of all you got the part, and second of all, you're traveling to Serbia to film this movie.
Okay, but also when I first auditioned for it, it was supposed to be filmed in Winnipeg.
Oh,
And so
that's
I
a
was
big
like,
difference.
okay, yeah, like 3, 4 months in Winnipeg, like, okay. But also, I'm filming a crazy, amazing movie, so I'm okay with that. But then I think it was a month out, like, it got delayed a little bit. And then my team calls me and they're like, so, how do you feel about filming in Europe? And I was like, shut up. I literally said that and they all burst out laughing. They're like, they're filming the movie in Serbia now. So you're going to be in Europe. And I was like, this is the actual dream. Like I've always wanted to like travel with work. I think that's like everyone's dream, to be able to shoot on location and explore a new language and culture and people. So, love you, Winnipeg, but also Serbia.
Absolutely. But a lot of people who are probably watching right now are like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky, etc. But you've put in your dues. You've worked really hard for this. And I don't want to sound like cliche or whatever, but I really do believe that acting was in the cards for you at a very young
Oh,
age.
you went there.
I did.
Yes.
But it was because you've been at this for a while and you've been really working hard at mastering your craft. So tell us a little bit of how you knew acting was right for you.
I grew up in a place where I think they always celebrated performance and art and sharing your passion. Venezuela has a lot of that. And when I moved to Canada, I think everything changed because it was opportunity meeting my passion where I could go to school for it and I could train. And I love studying. I love the craft itself, reading about it. Like I took Meisner and Stanislavski and Chekhov. We did, the classics, Shakespeare, everything. And for me, there isn't one way to approach the work. I think it really comes from you. And I kept hearing that, be in the moment, like you're special, unique, and everything. And I don't know that that really drops in until you have the experience meets you're growing as a person. And I thought that acting was putting on masks and putting on these characters, when in reality it's about revealing and being vulnerable. And I think the most challenging part of being an artist is allowing people to see that, and not just the good, but the messy, the flawed, the parts of you that you might hide for certain reasons, but really that's where the magic is. And until I really made that connection, I realized that there is a place for all of us to thrive, because we are flawed, beautiful human beings. And so our artistry lies in that, actually. It lies in our pain and how we rise above that and celebrating it. As much as we are so open to pleasure and joy and winning, I think we have to embrace disappointment and anxiety and like all of those low moments as well, because they're just as part of us. And so when you have this entire complex human and the camera's in front of you and you're not afraid to be seen, I felt so connected to that I didn't have to hide who I was. I didn't have to, the training aids in dealing with the technicality of being on set and how to reset, how to dig into those deep moments of your life. But then everything else is honestly surrendering to that and letting it go and trusting that everything you need is truly inside of you. I think training is important because it allows you to see all of the tools that you have and possess. But at the end of the day, we're human, and you have to humanize your work. As an artist, you just have to humanize it.
Humberly, that was incredible insight for everyone watching right now. We should have a master class with you. That was fantastic. That was very
Oh, thank
inspiring and
you.
motivating. That was great.
Yeah.
You've done so much, and I know we were talking about checking off the boxes in your career list and stuff, and all that you're doing and still to be doing. Can we talk a little bit about motion capture? Because not only are you in this amazing Netflix series with Ginny and Georgia, and so much to come with that, you're in this incredible, spooky, scary movie called Tarot, and you're part of two franchises now with Star Wars and Star Trek. Does life get any better than that?
It's wild. Never, if you had told me when I moved to Toronto in 2015 that this is where I would be at this time, like within the decade of my first like 10 years of my professional career, I know that I always believed in myself and I dreamed of that. I just didn't know that it would fully take place, I guess maybe in this time, in this amount of timeline, and in such a meaningful role, like it isn't just like, oh, you have a line and you get to like be a little part of it. It's like, no, you're in leading roles in these franchises that, especially with Star Wars, like it is so seldom that I see myself represented as a, Latino immigrant woman, like as a person of color in a very male dominated industry, which is video games, not just on screen, but also behind the screen and people who play it. It's growing a lot. And there's a lot of female players now and female characters, but I don't think that I had ever really seen it and grew up with that. So it's unreal. It's very surreal to me still, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity.
Well, congratulations. Can you talk a little bit about how motion capture kind of strengthens your acting muscles and like what kind of techniques you have to use in order to be really good at that?
Absolutely. I think my theater background really helped me with that. because you're using your entire body. There's something about film where it's right here, you know, and the camera catches everything right here. But with motion capture, the best piece of advice I got was when you're doing the work, I should be able to turn off the volume and still understand what's happening. So that allowed me to understand that it's about body language and the fact that communication isn't just the words that we use. There's so much subtext, and our bodies truly are our own language as well. So how do you show anger? How do you show disappointment and cockiness and confidence? Being able to use my entire instrument and be aware of it is also enhancing my film and TV career. But motion capture is, it's the best. It's honestly my favorite part of my job. I would do motion capture forever. And this isn't my first video game. I've been doing video games since 2016, I guess, but this is my first lead. And especially with Ubisoft, I've been working for them for several years. And so much of the team was like, you've been training for this. And we're so happy it's you because you're so ready for this. Like, I feel like this role really lined up with the character itself, but also the experience I've been gardening like through the years. But everybody can do motion capture. You know what it is? It's like being a kid again because there's no sets or makeup or costume. It's really just you and your imagination. And that's really vulnerable to allow yourself to dream and truly see what's in front of you, even though there's nothing. You know, I remember the first time that they were like, okay, and now you see this new beautiful planet and it's sunny and there's sand in your eye and you're scared but excited. All of that is just visualization. And it goes hand in hand with my meditation work and manifesting and visualization that this really felt like such an aligned moment of you are a dreamer. So therefore, of course, you're here. Yeah.
You are really a working actor when I say that, because you can tell that acting is a part of your everyday and you live it and you breathe it and you use it with whatever you're doing. And I also love the fact that we are doing this interview with a brick wall in your background and you're making it look like it's just fitting with the whole tarot scary horror film vibe. And I love that so much. Thanks so much for giving us some of your time. I know you're a busy woman and you've got so much on your plate. Congratulations on Tarot, which is in theaters May 3rd. We are going to provide a link so that everybody can go to that and grab their tickets and see the film in theaters. You will not be disappointed. Go see it with some friends. It's such a great film if you like those kind of jump scare craziness stuff. And also, can you give us a little tease or maybe a little bit of inside scoop on what we can expect with Ginny and Georgia?
Ooh, honestly, we're just about to go to pictures, so it's all very much in the start of everything. It's just very exciting because I'm even in the dark of it all.
Oh, come on.
I know, and I'm like, I haven't read any scripts, but I know that the creator, Sarah, is very excited, and she says it's going to be maybe the best yet. So stay tuned.
Congratulations. Everything coming your way, well deserved. Thanks so much for making time for us. And thanks for being a part of the Working Actor on Casting Workbook. We'll have to have you back again. All right.
Absolutely, I would love to. I love chatting about all this.
I love chatting with you. And thanks so much for being here.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
tuning into the Working Actor on Casting Workbook. This has been an incredible interview with Humberly González in Tarot in theaters this weekend.